Okay, children, what what was the last part on judiciary which I have explained? I suppose, as far as I remember, I have explained you about the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, isn't it? Jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, that is original jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction, and advisory jurisdiction. Yes, I know that. Did I explain to you that particular point, that independence of judiciary? Yes, I'll give you the question answers, dear. Did I explain on that part on independence of judiciary? Forgotten. This is very good. Okay. Others are not there in the class. I find others, if you have forgotten, others are not there. Just if you have forgotten, I'll just be repeating this part. Independence of judiciary. You know, we know that I have taught you that the government is made up of three parts: legislature, executive, and judiciary, isn't it? And so far we have talked about what is the composition of the Supreme Court, how are the judges appointed, things like that we have discussed. We have discussed about the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Jurisdiction means the areas where the Supreme Court exercises its authority. Authority means powers. There were three types of jurisdiction I have given you. One was original jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction, and advisory jurisdiction. Now, one more thing which is very important is that, you see that as the government is made up of three different parts, and all the cases in the country, they are discussed by the Supreme Court. So it is very, very important that the judiciary must be kept independent. The judiciary must be kept independent. Why? So that the judges of the Supreme Court can give genuine decisions whenever there are cases even against the legislature and the executive. So the first point, what we should do in order to keep the judiciary independent, first point is what? Non-interference by the legislature and executive. So the first point is that the legislature and the executive should not be allowed to interfere in the work of the judiciary. This is one point. Second point, only highly qualified and experienced people should be appointed as judges. So this is very important, that when I was discussing about the qualifications of the judges of the Supreme Court, I have told you that they must have a thorough knowledge of law, and not only knowledge of law, they must have experience also. So only those people who are highly qualified and those who have experience, they must only be appointed as judges. These are the 2 points. Other points I'm giving you. 5 points minimum I will give you.